everybody, I'm Heinz Strauss. Welcome to my channel. Now, if you're new to this channel or you may have been a regular viewer, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Now today, I'm truly excited about this review because I get to review Ford's very popular little Figo. Now they've sold a ton of these in South Africa and in fact wherever they are sold in markets all over the world. Now today, what makes this video very special is the fact that we get to drive two derivatives of the exact same vehicle. This is a 2015 Ford Figo Ambiente 1.4 Petrol. And this is a 2015 Ford Figo Ambiente 1.4 Diesel. The cars couldn't be any similar. In fact, they sell within 10,000 Rand of each other in the South African market. So without further ado, let's take a closer look.
Here we go.
So this is the fantastic 1.4 petrol engine. It's a 4-cylinder, it's a very basic engine, but it's reliable, it's cheap to maintain, and it is exactly what you're looking for at this price point. Now, this engine puts out 62 kilowatts at 6,000 RPM and 127 Newton meters of torque at 4,000 RPM. That's good enough to propel this vehicle from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 13.1 seconds, and she's good for 169 kilometers an hour top speed. But I'm not giving you permission. So, the Ambiente, it is the basic spec of Ford's Figo. Now, it does not have electric windows, it does not have electrically adjustable mirrors, but it does have a Bluetooth infotainment system and aircon, and it just, it's a fantastic small hatchback. I just feel that these cars are really very much one of the top cars that any buyer at this price point should consider. So this is the little 1.4 diesel. It's a 4-cylinder common rail turbo diesel engine, and I just love it. It's got loads of character. This produces 51 kilowatts at 4,000 RPM and 160 Newton meters of torque at 2,000 RPM. The service intervals for this is every 15,000 Ks, according to Ford, whilst the 1.4 petrol is every 20,000 kilometers. Well, I must say what I like about this little diesel engine, it's got really tremendous character. It's a little bit tractory, if I'm honest with you, but it just gives that car just a unique feeling. I mean, this is bang for your buck value. In fact, when these cars were brand new, I don't think they differed more than 10 to 15,000 Rand in price anyway. But what I like about this little diesel is the fact that it's got power throughout the rev range. And it really makes for an exciting, very practical daily driver. Other than that, the specs of the car are exactly the same. Both are the Ambiente derivative. So, without further ado, let's take them for a drive. So the first car that I'm going to be driving is the little diesel. Now this is one of my cars, so if I give the impression that I am slightly biased in my review, it's probably because I am. Anyway, I love this little diesel. When you read the headline figures, 51 kilowatts, really, let's be honest, that's not all that much for a 1.4 turbo diesel engine. But what it lacks in kilowatts, it kind of makes up for in torque. And when I'm driving this, I hardly ever have to rev this engine higher than 2,500 RPM. It's just a very brilliant all-rounder. And then of course you've got the added benefit of this being very frugal as a vehicle, with around about 5.3 liters per 100 Ks on the combined cycle. This little Figo is just such a good little car. Very hard to fault. I think if I am going to be critical, and let's face it, no car is built perfect, then yes, I can find many things that I dislike. But the reality is, if I was going to review this car and be as critical as I would be, let's say, if I were to do a video on something that cost maybe $1 million, yeah, sure, then fault the build quality and the plastics. But at this price point, even though, yes, there are quite a lot of cheap plastics used in this vehicle, they've kind of been able to hide it away with intricate shapes and forms and just a very easy, pleasant layout of the dashboard. But everyone in the market to buy a vehicle like this, you can get something that is relatively new at a very, very competitive price point. And as I said, these cars are not popular because they're bad. They are popular because they're very good. So one of the things that I'd like to do that would really point out the difference, the main differences between the petrol and the diesel engine, is that although on paper the petrol is slightly more powerful, even though it's lacking in torque, I thought, let me take both cars up Doreen Road, which is quite a famous road here in the West Rand of Johannesburg, here in Roodepoort. Seeing that I grew up here in the Ruimsig area, I thought, hey, hang on, this is an absolutely perfect test. So what we're going to do is drive up Doreen Road and see what the highest gear is that we can maintain 60 kilometers per hour at in both cars. So I've got a feeling that in the diesel, I'll be easily able to keep it in third gear, maybe fourth, but definitely third gear, and just keep going at 60 k's an hour. But let me start on the ambitious side and say, let's see if she can maintain fourth. If not, a quick shift to third, and we'll see if we make it to the top without changing down any further. So far, so good. Still doing all right, 60 k's an hour, fourth gear. Doesn't feel like I have to change down. Still maintaining 60 k's an hour. Come on, it's starting to go, dip just under 60 k's an hour. Do I have to change down? No, I don't. 60 kilometers an hour in fourth gear. Well done. Well done. So, time for the petrol. Straight away, I have to say that you feel the engine deliver its power in a completely different way. That low down grunt that we experienced with the diesel is definitely noticeably less in this car. Yes, it does pull better higher in the rev range, but the figures that we quoted earlier about the performance, stating that this car will do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 13.1 seconds versus the diesel, which is rated at 15.8 seconds. Now, I can tell you right off the bat that that may be the case at sea level, but up here in Joburg at altitude, this certainly does not feel faster than the diesel. In fact, I'd be very surprised if this race is even close. But as a car, this 1.4 is not sluggish. It's got ample performance. It's got decent fuel economy. And these cars are reliable, very, very, very cheap to maintain. And I think this is something that buyers have to consider when you're buying a vehicle like this. Long-term maintenance cost. Sure, there are plenty other vehicles that you can buy that's got, you know, better spec in terms of technological, electronic wizardry. But 20 years from now, I bet you will still see plenty of these on the road. Plenty of them. And I think that's the appeal of the Figo. It's a basic, well-equipped or fairly well-equipped car that will serve its owner well and do exactly what it was made to do. Take you from point A to B without thrill or fuzz. Do it with a car that's got good looks that I actually believe is going to age very well. I think the proportions of the Figo make it a car that will 20 years from now still be appealing. Who knows where, you know, styling will go, etc. But I just feel that Ford's Figo is going to be a hit not just today, but for the future as well. Kind of similar to what the little City Golf was to VW. I think this car is going to be maybe not as sought after, but it's going to remain a good looking car for years to come. We've reached Doreen Road, where we did the experiment in the 1.4 diesel. And driving here, I can already tell you, I don't think we're gonna be going up this road in fourth gear. I think if we were at sea level, the 1.4 petrol would perform much better, but it's not bad, but I just don't think, because it just does not have that low down grunt, I don't see this going up Doreen in fourth gear. I reckon second gear. So we're working our way up to 60 k's an hour. I'm in third gear at the moment. Fingers crossed that I don't have to gear down, but let's see. Okay, so we're maintaining 60 kilometers an hour. I do have someone on my back, so I'm not going to gear down. 60 k's an hour, foot flat out on the accelerator. Up Doreen Road, come on, come you good thing. I don't want to be gearing down. Oh, we're already losing speed. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, stay with me. Seems she's gonna be doing it. Okay, we've dropped down below 50 k's an hour, but we've gone past the most extreme. Yeah. Yes. So there we have it. It's good for third gear, 60 k's an hour. I just like them. I just think that this is a car that you can buy if it's got good mileage, if it has service history. This is a car that you can confidently buy without having to worry that there's a big bill waiting for you around the corner. I think as with all cars, it's worth noting that these have cam belts, not timing chains. You just have to make sure that if you're going to be buying one of these used, that the cam belt was done. So that's my take. Which one would you buy? The diesel or the petrol? If I was spending my money, I honestly would be happy getting either or, because both of these cars are just so good. I think if you can live with the slightly noisier diesel, you'd be happy. You'd be saving a little bit of money on your fuel bill. If you're going to be buying the petrol car, you'd be happy too, because you're getting something that's, they just feel that they're not going to break. So that's my opinion. Two great little cars that represent excellent value for money. I think the question really comes down to, what do you prefer? So let me know in the comment section below. Would you buy the diesel or would you buy the petrol? I'd love to hear from you. Wow, this certainly was a fantastic review. I must say, probably one of my favorites. And couldn't have done it without my friends here at Rand Park Auto. So, Reini, thank you guys very much. Give you the presidential greet. Now, if someone may have watched this video, maybe you'd like to get into contact with my friends here, where can they find you?
You can find us at 3 Haktoring Street on Rand Park Ridge, corner of Malope Drive, right by the engine garage. You can also find us on www.randparkauto.com, along with us on our social media handle, which is Rand Park Auto on Facebook and Instagram.
Fantastic. Thank you again for allowing us to review this beautiful car. May you have a fantastic day.